How's it going, everyone? This is Carlos from UnoCinco, and this is UnoCinco Podcast. I'm so excited today because we have our very good friend Denise from Airkissed Makeup. So, Denise, how you doing?
Hi, Carlos. Great. I'm so happy to be here with you. We've known each other for what, a few years?
3, 4 years?
3, 4 years, maybe. Yeah, around that time. And I'm so happy that you have this podcast going on, and I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Awesome. And I'm very excited to have you. Last time I had your friend, Mia, and she talked more about the hair, but you work with her, right? And you are focusing more on the makeup, correct?
Yes, that's correct. I'm a makeup artist, and she focuses on the hair, and I do the makeup. And we work with a lot of quinceañeras.
I know. A lot of my clients too. I always refer them to you because y'all always do a great job. But tell me, who are you? Like, I know you do hair and makeup, but tell us a little bit, like, where you're from and a little bit about you for the people that don't know you.
Okay, so my name is Denise, as Carlos mentioned, and my business name is Airkissed Makeup, and I've been doing makeup officially for 10 years now.
10
So
years,
I'm like a veteran in this. Yeah, so it's been a while. I first started doing airbrush makeup. I don't know if a lot of people are familiar with that. So that's part of where, like I mentioned, where my name comes from, Airkissed Makeup, since I started with airbrush makeup, and then I transitioned into what we call traditional makeup. So yeah, it's been a while.
So the Airkissed makeup, the air is like, I've seen when they draw like on shirts and stuff like that, but I also kind of seen when they paint on people with like, it's like a little pin that throws in like.
Yes.
How does that work?
So basically, it's a compressor, and it's connected to like an air gun. It's called an airbrush, and you use that to put makeup on people. And like you said, it's used to do shirts, used for makeup, for airbrush tanning. So there's a lot of things that it's used for. So in this case, it's to apply makeup to a person's face. And that's how it works through air. So instead of doing it with a brush, you do it through the airbrush gun. You put in the product and you turn on the compressor. And once you press on the lever, that's what we call it, then the product comes out and onto the face.
Is it like a different finish? Or how does it look different from just like a regular brush?
Yes. I think it's more like for a more natural finish. It looks more like skin. And it's great for pictures. It's great for TV, for everything. Yeah. So it works well with like HD things. A lot of people don't know about it or they've never heard about it. But it's a service that I do offer in case someone wants airbrush makeup instead of traditional makeup.
Yeah. Awesome. So tell me, you've been doing this for 10 years, right?
It's been 10 years or a little more, but officially, I always say officially 10 years.
Yeah, and I've been doing photography about 11 years, so we're like, we started around the same time. Yeah, but tell me, what got you into this? What made you want to do makeup and,
Well, I used to do makeup on myself a lot. I was more into doing makeup on myself. I remember I had purchased an airbrush machine. That's how it all started. I purchased an airbrush machine. I had it. I basically put it away because I thought it wasn't what I expected. I expected airbrush makeup would make it look like photoshopped, but that's not what that is, okay? So I put that away, and one day I got a phone call from a friend. She was a stylist, and she said, Denise, she goes, I know you have this machine, and I know sometimes you do makeup, and I need you to cover me because I can't make it to an event, and it's a bride.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. That was, like, the first time I was, like, actually going to do makeup on somebody, like, let's say that I didn't know. That wasn't a friend, here and there. So I was very nervous. I didn't have any professional things, any brushes. I had my personal stuff, just little things here and there. And I told her, no, I don't want to, but at the end, I did it. I went. I grabbed whatever I had. I took my airbrush makeup. I went. And when I went, I met somebody there that was doing hair at a salon. We were both invited there, me as a makeup artist and the other person as a hair artist, hairstylist. And she told me at the end, I really liked working with you. She's like, you seem like a nice person. She goes, because a lot of people that I work with are very like, they don't even let you do your work,
Yeah.
what I'm doing. So she told me, would you like to work with me in my salon and offer the service that you're doing to my clients? Because we don't offer that. Oh my goodness, my mind like was going like crazy. I was like, if I say yes and I don't know what I'm doing,
Yeah.
and if I say no, and I just said yes. I said, what can happen? That the client doesn't like it and I don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So that's how it all started. It wasn't like did it because I wanted to. I was kind of pushed into it.
Yeah.
But it's my passion now. That's like, I don't see myself doing anything else.
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, that's the main thing I focus on. I do other things, but I don't see myself doing anything else.
Yeah.
And that's how it all started. Somebody kind of gave me that little push I needed.
But did you kind of feel like you wanted to do that before you even had that little push? Was it in the back of your head, like, I want to go like pro or, do this for a living? Or
No, like I said, I used to do it every once in a while, maybe on friends or family, like here and there. But I never thought of actually making a living, let's say it like that, out of doing this.
Yeah.
Never. I never thought. So basically, we go back a little bit. In 2013, I actually quit my job that I had, and I dedicated myself to doing makeup for a living.
Was that scary for you?
It was a little scary. Yes, of course. Everything new is scary, and thinking like, how am I actually gonna live out of it? Is it possible? You know? And yes, it's possible. It's possible to make a living out of being a makeup artist. It takes a lot of work, a lot of sacrifice.
Yeah.
Sometimes sleepless nights, getting up early, missing events, parties, family gatherings. It's a lot. People think it's easy, but it's not. It's a lot of work. But you can.
Yeah.
You can make a living out of it, and I have for the past 10 years.
10 years, yeah. And did you have people saying that, nah, don't do it, you might not make it, or anybody like kind of like just pushing you down that,
At one point, I probably did have someone, but I kept on going regardless. Sometimes it's even your own family, but if it's what you love to do, you're going to keep on going regardless, I believe. I don't think it should be something to stop you from doing what you love or feel passionate about.
Exactly. And anything you do, right? You have to have that passion and just that hunger and fight, I totally agree with you on that. But, we shoot quinceañeras for photography, and I know you do a lot of makeup for quinceañeras. Tell us, is there any like trends that you see that our girls are asking for a lot, or something that you recommend the girls to try to do?
As far as the makeup goes, is rhinestones. So it's very in right now to wear crystals around the eye area. Some girls even wear like around, going out to temple area.
Yeah.
So that's something that I've been seeing a lot. I've also been seeing a few colors that are very in right now, like emerald green. I see a lot of that. I'm seeing a lot of lilac. I think like a few of the girls that we work with lately, almost all of them have had lilac dresses, like a light purple. So I see those colors are very in right now. So that's a trend. And as far as like the girls with their makeup, I usually try to do like an in-between look. I don't do a very soft style or a very dramatic style unless I'm asked for that specific style. So it's very in between. And one of the recommendations I make always, let's say they bring me a very dramatic makeup with a lot of glitter for their photo shoot. I always try to tell them, look, this is a beautiful look, but for your photo shoot, I don't think it's appropriate.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't going to ask you, but I'm going to ask you. Does it affect your work when you see girls that are wearing so much glitter on their eyes for when you take pictures, like in the quality of the pictures, like to capture that?
A little bit, but not too much. The colors, if it's too bright, I mean, it's gonna look bright in the pictures. But something that I do have a lot of trouble with, like I see in the images, is the shine. it looks like sweat, and they're not
Yes.
sweating, but sometimes they look too shiny. What do you recommend the girls to do for in the images? I think it's the way that light reflects on them. It gives them like in the forehead, the cheeks, the nose. It gives them like
Yes.
a shine. What do you recommend them to do, or what do you
So
do for that?
yeah, so a lot of girls come in, and the first thing when I do their makeup is like, I love a lot of highlight. That's what we call it, highlight, that
Mhm.
glow. And I tell them, you know what? For your pictures, I don't really recommend it because exactly like you said, it's gonna look like sweat.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay. And I said, maybe for the day of your event, I said, you can have some on, but remember, you're gonna be taking pictures, so it might look like sweat. It might not look great. So
Yeah.
a lot of people don't understand the difference between makeup for like a photography
Yeah.
or just going out makeup, social makeup is not the same. So I try not to add a lot. Me personally, I try not to add a lot of glow to the face, a
Mhm.
lot, especially if you already have oily skin.
Yeah.
You don't add a lot of glow to the face. It's gonna make it look like oil with glow and sweat, like all combined together. It does not look cute. And I know
Yeah.
for the photographer to edit that out, sometimes it's hard.
Yeah, it is.
Sometimes it's hard. So I try, to tell the young lady, I give them a few ideas. Let's say for the eye look also, remember this photo shoot is basically for your mom.
Yeah.
So your mom has an image of you when you were about to turn, 15 or when you're 15.
Yeah.
So just try to keep it a little bit softer.
Mhm.
And then for the day of your event, you can go a little bit more out, add some glitter, some rhinestones, whatever you want. But of course, if a girl is set on a certain look, you can't convince her.
Yeah.
Really, if they want that, they're going to get that.
Yeah.
So me as a makeup artist, my job is to give my opinion, but still respect what they want,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
Mhm.
just put your input and guide them as much as you can. But in the end, like you said, it's their quinceañera. Sometimes it's more the mom's quinceañera than the actual quinceañera. But
Yes.
yeah, just try to give the client what they want. But I have a question. What is the process like when the girl calls you, or what do you? What's a good way for them to come ready for you? Like, do you recommend them to have, like you said, images ready of the look they want? But is there anything else you kind of recommend them? Maybe the day that they come and do their makeup and their hair, whatever. What do you recommend for that
So
process?
I know a lot of girls is the first time that they're going to be doing their makeup. I do recommend, let's say, maybe to start waxing your eyebrows. Sometimes, okay, I'm going to say this. Sometimes girls have never, done their brows, anything. And it does interfere with the quality of the makeup, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So in order for your makeup to look a little bit cleaner, I do recommend getting that service done, and I provide that also.
The wax?
The wax, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, a lot of young ladies come to me for that service too, to get their brows done. They've never done it. They don't want to get them overdone.
Yeah.
So thank you for putting your trust in me, because that's not something easy to do. It's their first time, and some of them are scared, and it's
Mhm.
normal. But I take care of them with that process. So I do recommend that, and just take care of your skin if you can. 2 weeks before, try to exfoliate. Exfoliate is just removing like your dead skin, things like that to make the makeup look better. I just recommend them to come to me if they have pictures. It's great. If they don't, for me, I always tell them even better.
Yeah.
When they show you a picture, they kind of expect the same thing. And it's hard to provide the same thing. You can do something similar,
Mhm.
but you don't have the same materials or tools or, that the other makeup artists use, or the colors. So you try to make it as similar as possible. So to me, it's better just to create something out of my mind. And I
Yeah.
always try to do something different for everyone. I can use the same colors, but just tweak it a little bit just to make it special for that person.
Mhm.
And it's hard to do because after you do so many quinceañeras, sometimes it can get repetitive.
Yeah.
But I try to put a little extra special thing on each of them,
Yeah. Okay. And you say, I know you've been doing a lot of quinceañeras and all these years. Any crazy stories you have? Something you want to share with us? A crazy experience?
Stories. Well, let's see. Like 2 years ago, it wasn't specifically with a client, but
Mhm.
it's part of this. Like 2 years ago, I decided to ride a scooter, Discovery Green,
Mhm.
and I fell really bad, really, really bad. I had to go to the ER.
Right.
I had like all my ligaments were torn from my leg.
Wow.
I couldn't walk. I was basically in crutches. I
Yeah.
had my a brace on my knee and everything. And during that time, we were in charge of doing the billboards for the expo.
Yeah.
And that day, one of those days, we had a model.
Uh-huh.
And Mia, which, like Carlos said, we work together. She does the hair and I do the makeup. She calls me. She's like, Denise, I need you. I need you. She goes, I'm going to go pick you up. I said, hi. No, I was in bed. I said, I can walk. Oh, you please. I need you. I need you. I'm going to go pick you up. Pues, there she goes.
Didn't you have like a crutch? Like
I had a crutch and a brace and everything.
yeah, I remember that.
Do you remember that? I think it was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And there I was. She went and she picked me up and I was working there. I couldn't even walk. But, sometimes you have to go above and beyond for some things, I've had to work sick. I don't think I've ever canceled on a client for being sick.
Yeah.
I always try to be there because it's such an important date,
Yeah.
for them. And in this case, it was for the billboards that we're going to do for the Quinceanera Expo. So I had to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that happened to me is that I usually don't travel to do makeup. I usually work in studio. And this one time we were going out, and I always make sure I pack everything. I do it by step. What do I do first? This. So I pack everything like that so I don't forget it.
Mm-hmm.
I got to the person's place. I was about to do her makeup, and I'm like, where are my brushes at? Oh my God. Where are my brushes at? I forgot my brushes. And I'm like, do you have brushes?
Yeah.
And she came out like with 5 brushes. And I did what I could with those 5 brushes. She still looked good. And with my fingers, with whatever I had. But that was something, funny. And it's like, how do you do it? You just have to figure it out. Sometimes when you've been in the industry for so many years, you find ways to do it, but it's crazy. It's not easy to forget all your brushes.
I know. I have nightmares sometimes that I forget my memory cards for my cameras or my batteries. And I feel you. You feel like you're gonna forget brushes. I feel like I have nightmares that I'm gonna forget batteries and stuff like that because we've been doing it for so long, and eventually you forget something.
It happens. I mean, we're not perfect, and especially you're not like me that I'm not used to going out too much to do makeup somewhere else, and you pack all your things to go, and hey, I hope I don't forget anything, and you forget your main tools, your brushes, you know. So it happens.
It does. Okay, well, where do you see yourself in 5-10 years? Like let's say this is the middle point of what you've been doing. Where do you see yourself in another 5 to 10 years?
There's a few things in my mind at this moment of where I'd see myself in 5 to 10 years. I have 2 different routes.
Mm-hmm.
The first one would probably be still be working in nothing but quinceañeras. Well, that's one of my goals was that just to work on quinceañeras and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. The other route that I had that was in my mind was to mentor someone and train someone to do what I do, because eventually in a few years I'm not going to be able to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. So in a few years and I'm not going to be able to do it. So I want to leave what I know how to do to somebody else.
Yeah.
That's really gonna put in the work.
Yeah.
And do what I do. And me just be supervising or coming in every once in a while. I'm already old, I'm not that young. I started in my makeup career. I was older. I didn't start young in my 20s like a lot of them do. I started older already. So eventually, I'm going to have to pass it on. So I'm going to go to as far as I can. But those are the 2 options that I have. Keep on working, of course. Mm-hmm. And I have some plans right now in the near future of more services that I want to offer. So, of course, I want to add that to it, but focus on quinceañeras as far as makeup goes. Yeah. Okay? So I have those 2 routes. So we'll see where life, you never know where life is going to take you. I might say that. I might change my mind tomorrow. Who knows?
No, that's good. But at least you kind of have a path or 2 paths that you think you might take. That's good. Well, random question. Well, not so random because I asked it last time. I asked your friend Mia, and I asked you the
Okay.
same thing. All right. Question: If there was a zombie apocalypse, where would you be? What would you be doing to, you know, what would you do if there was a
Well,
zombie apocalypse right now?
I always have two routes. I don't know why I always
Two
have two.
rats.
One of the things I would do is probably join the zombies myself.
Get bitten right away
Why
or what?
not? Yeah, why not? Let's see how that feels. And then the other thing would be if I don't get bitten, find the smartest people there so I can hang with them and we can all survive. I
Yeah.
don't know.
The smartest, the
The smartest, the
strongest.
strongest. Yeah, find a group that knows how to defend themselves so I can hang with them and
Yeah, that sounds good. But being bitten, I wonder how that. One, I wonder how that bite would feel, and also, I wonder what they see, what they think.
I know
You
that's interesting, right?
Yeah.
That's interesting. So
What route would you prefer?
I think probably being bitten. I
Being
don't know.
bitten?
Yeah, yeah,
Why
being
not?
bitten and yeah, why not?
Why
Just
not?
I mean, I already lived
Yeah,
and I want to try something else now. I want to be a zombie.
yeah, that's crazy.
See,
Um,
everybody has a different opinion on that.
right. Um, but yeah, I always see you smiling, happy. Always working. You're a hard worker. Tell me something that people really don't know about you. Something that like something I might not know about you, or just anyone that sees you, they don't know about you.
Well, let's see. I guess only a few people or very close people to me know. I've had not a tough life, but I have a special needs daughter.
Hmm.
So that thing, having a special needs daughter has made me definitely more stronger and more hardworking.
Yeah.
A lot of people expect if you have, a special need son or daughter or child, they expect to see you all the time like sad or
Hmm.
depressed or I don't know, like always thinking about that. And that's not possible. I mean, your life is like they depend on you. So
Yeah.
they have to see you strong. And there's days that they get hard.
Hmm.
There's days that it's not that easy. But, you go and you go in your room, you cry, you do what you got to do, and then you come back out and you
Yeah.
keep on going.
Yeah.
Okay? So during a part of my life, I think I stopped doing a lot of things that I wanted to do because of that. I
Hmm.
had goals and I just set them back. I set them back. So like in 2020, 2019,
Hmm.
I decided to go back to school. I wanted to go back to school, and it was really hard. It was when COVID hit.
Yeah.
So everybody was doing computer classes at my house. I have 3 kids. So I had my pre-K son.
Hmm.
I had my special needs child. She didn't know how to work a computer. She doesn't know anything that has to do with that.
Hmm.
And then I had my other daughter and myself.
Yeah.
So it was all 4 of us. I remember the first day of class, I cried. I called my sister and I cried. I said, I can't do this. How am I going to do this?
Yeah.
So then that's where the pick and choose your battles come. So I had to not stress over everything at that moment and just kind of stress less, like take it like a little lighter. Sometimes we take everything so at heart and so it just falls so heavy on us.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, tomorrow's another day. And I did it. I got my aesthetics license, which is part of cosmetology, but it focuses more on the skin.
Hmm.
So I got my license. And then after that, I enrolled in school again because I wanted to take more classes that I needed. And I did another semester. And I had to stop after that because we had so much work and I wasn't going to be able to do both. Either I worked or I went to school and I needed to work.
Hmm.
So I had to stop because of that. But I stopped that, but I'm still, me personally, taking courses online or to better my makeup skills. So I'm
Yeah.
still learning, not like college things, but I'm still learning my
Yeah.
skill,
Yeah.
which is important, very important.
Awesome, man. That's good to hear. And yeah, like I said, you just Like I see you like a hardworking and strong woman, and honestly, I'm proud of you.
Thank
Uh,
you.
and but tell the people if you want to look at that camera. Tell the people where they can find you, like your social media and like phone number if you want to share that. For they, they can book you for their next quinceañera. You do weddings too, right? And stuff
I
like that.
do everything. I do quinceañeras, bridals, socials. Usually, I do more quinceañeras because they look for me more.
Mm-hmm.
But I do brides also, whoever I have space for. Um, but I do mostly quinceañeras. Okay, but you can look for me at Facebook or Instagram as Airkissed Makeup. That's my Instagram and Facebook handle is the same thing. And then my phone number is 832-647-2325. So you can reach me either by phone. If I don't answer, text me. I always say that because I'm very busy all the time. And through my social media pages.
Awesome. Awesome. Anything else you want to share before we take off right here? Anything you want to add?
Well, how about I ask you something?
Okay. Go ahead.
Let's see. I've always know a lot of people when we do their makeup before their photo shoots, they get very tense. They're very nervous. They really don't like to be in front of the cameras.
Hmm.
You as a photographer, what do you do to make your client feel more at ease and more, more comfortable in front of the camera?
Yeah. Something, well, I'm goofy by nature. So I always goof around with them and I tell them, look, these are pictures that we're doing. If you mess up, don't worry about it. We just take another picture. If I mess up, I tell them, don't slap me. Not, I like, we're going to mess up and, like I said, there's pictures. So we can just redo it. But another thing that I do is in the beginning of every photo shoot, I like to spend like 5 minutes with them, goofing around, but not just that, guiding them of how I'm going to be posing them. So they're like, you don't need to know how to pose or anything. All I need you to do is follow my instructions. Like I tell them, chin up, chin down, how to be nice and tall. A little bit of, I just guide them, like how I'm going to be posing them. And during the shoot, they're just paying attention to my hands, how I'm instructing them and stuff like that. So they're comfortable because they don't have to worry about it. They don't stress it. So I like to, like I said, I like to control the situation because these are not like professional models or nothing like that. They don't know how to pose. Even I've worked with models before too, and they still don't pose good for the camera, for pictures. So I even them I guide them how I'm going to be posing them. So basically they're stress free because I'm taking control of all that. But I also tell them if if you have any ideas, we can do it too. But if a lot of them don't, so that's where my expertise comes in. And I even tell them because it's true. In the beginning, they're all shy, but in the end, they're like posing and doing all these crazy things on their own. And with after a little while, they get more comfortable with the camera. So yeah.
That's good, yeah. And I've actually been there at photo shoots with you, and I
Mm-hmm.
can see that you make them feel comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
and you are goofy. And he does show him how to pose
Mm-hmm.
very well.
Thank
And another thing, as professionals, we always have to be getting better at what we do.
Mm-hmm.
What trainings do you have, or how do you keep yourself up to date? Like, how do you sharpen your photography skills? It's very important to do that.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of self-taught in a
Okay.
way where, I mean, I did a lot of YouTube videos. I bought courses online. I practice a lot too. Like if there's a technique that I see someone do, I practice it and I try to do it. Um, and just like mix it around different styles and whatnot. But I'm also very competitive. I feel like I'm one of the best quinceañera photographers out there for.
I agree.
Uh, thank you. But I'm very competitive. I try like if I see someone like catching up or better than me or something like that, I'm like, no, I got to beat that person. So I'm always trying to learn something new and I always try to do something different. Um, I'm known for shooting at the castle a lot because a lot of my clients they like the way I shoot it. So I shoot it like twice a week or there at the castle. But every time I go, I still find a different angle, a different way to shoot it, something I can add a different element, because as a creative person, I don't want to, I get bored doing the same thing. It gets repetitive. And I always try to find a different way to shoot it. Every time I'm with a client there, I always look for a different way to shoot it.
That's exactly what I was talking about earlier when I do makeup. Last year, we had like 500 quinceañeras.
Wow.
That's just like that, 500 quinceañeras. And like you said, sometimes it gets repetitive. So you have to do something different for each person.
Yeah.
Whatever, just something small just to make it different. I do that too. So like as a creative person, like you said, we do that. We have to do that.
Yeah. But awesome, man. It was great having you here today. I had a lot of fun. You gave a lot of knowledge, information to these young quinceañera girls, and maybe hopefully I'll have you again in the near future.
Yes.
And we'll do it again. But thank you everyone for joining us today's podcast with Denise from Airkissed Makeup. And is that correct?
That's correct.
Sorry. And just stay tuned for more episodes and more great guests like her.
Thank you.